gonna say anything about Ryan Garcia because that's another guy. He made a lot of stuff, a lot of bad mistakes in his life, not in his career, in his life in general. So you see the news couple hours ago. He's arrested right now.
Yep.
He's in the police right now. So we don't know what happened, but something big happened in the hotel. So that's super sad, super sad.
Professional boxer Ryan Garcia is free tonight after being arrested late this afternoon for felony vandalism at the Waldorf Astoria in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills police say Garcia caused $15,000 worth of damage to hotel property. What the 25-year-old fighter actually broke is still unclear. After being booked, ESPN reporting the fighter complained of a medical issue and was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. His attorney says the boxer may also be charged with public intoxication.
I'm gonna say it outright. I think Ryan Garcia cheated, bro. I think you took the steroids and you knew you took the steroids, all right? I'm gonna stop, with this, if that, if this, bro. I'm tired of all this crap. At the highest level especially, man, when everybody's looking at this fight, we just gave boxing its millionth black eye here.
Ryan Garcia has been involved in plenty of drama after his breathtaking victory over Devin Haney nearly 2 months ago. Since demolishing Haney, Kingrye has only been portrayed in a negative light. First with him testing positive for PEDs and now vandalism and getting arrested. The latest incident has the potential to bring down his promising career. TalkSport's Michael Benson posted on X, stating that Garcia was arrested after destroying property worth $15,000 at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Beverly Hills. Although he was immediately released from custody, he could face the consequences of his actions. Fans have also been reacting to Kingrye's arrest, and many have shared their opinions on the young boxer. One user wrote, "This guy is going off the rails since he got found out. Doesn't he have good management?" Another fan stated, "The Gaza of boxing. This kid needs looking after now." A third user commented, "That boy on blow and you know it." Now you're probably already familiar with Ryan Garcia testing positive for PEDs, or performance-enhancing substances. In case you don't know, it was announced that Garcia came out positive for another test from the same Devin Haney fight. The initial test had come out a few days after the fight and tested positive. The B-sample test results had been reported last week and proved that Ryan Garcia tested positive for the banned PED ostarine. As a result, Ryan Garcia came out on social media to mock the news and even try to rally people on his side. Ryan Garcia obviously maintained his innocence, and he claimed to know exactly why this has taken place against him.
We calling bullshit. We calling bullshit, bro. Okay, so supposedly I'm clean the whole way through. The last literal moment, I supposedly took steroids. I'm not that much of an idiot, first of all. These motherfuckers set it up. How they have this excuse already built in? His brother was like, "Oh, he's gonna test positive for PEDs." Yeah. How the fuck would you know that? Come on now. They trying to play me, try to take my victory. I never took steroids in life, never would. These motherfuckers are clowns. And we know damn well he don't really want the rematch because he just claimed, "I don't want no rematch." So there won't be no rematch. I beat the shit out of him. It was the easiest fight I've ever had in my life. So I'm not gonna fight him again. I felt like I was fighting an amateur. I made it look like he shouldn't even be in the ring with me. But if he want to do it again, I'm gonna end him even worse because he's never gonna be the same after ass whooping. You take ass whooping like that?
Kingrye also did an interview with Jake Paul recently where he once again claimed his innocence. Even Jake Paul seemed to agree. Have a look.
It's war on everybody that's trying to make it seem like I'm a cheater. I don't do steroids, never did steroids in my life. I barely take supplements. Only reason I did supplements this time is my therapist gave me fucking ashwagandha. I'm clean throughout the whole fucking camp. And then supposedly I pop heavy the day before and after.
That's what I don't get. Like, I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying like I'm on your side and like let's defend Ryan and shit because like I don't fucking know. It doesn't make sense that he would start taking steroids the week of the fight because it has no effect. He would have got popped in camp.
However, take Ryan Garcia's statement with a pinch of salt. Before the fight, Kingrye made a controversial statement that very few expected would come out from a pro boxer of his caliber.
Ryan, if you were the commissioner of boxing, what was one thing you would change?
Imagine a boxing league where you could do steroids.
Think you've been in the ring with someone that's on steroids?
Oh yeah, I thought Oscar Duarte was on steroids, I'm not gonna lie. That is crazy.
Fans reacted to this statement with many lashing out at the young boxer. One user wrote, If you play devil's advocate, it's a bit weird he's calling out someone else for steroids, whilst if he himself was a cheater, wouldn't he be quiet in this moment? Isn't that what guilty people do? Or maybe he's deflecting since he knows that he himself is a cheater. Who knows? Another user explained Garcia's controversial statement, writing, "He said he was starting his own league recently as well, when people said he'll be banned for a bit for steroids. This is what he meant." A third user commented, "Man, we all want this for years. These are my and many fight fans wish for the longest. Boxing MMA to have an enhanced league. That would give the old school names longevity as well. This post is just BS bait." While some fans have taken Garcia's controversial comments lightly, the boxing world hasn't been so forgiving. Let's take a look at what the experts had to say about Garcia testing positive for PEDs.
Not so fast, Ryan Garcia. You can't blame Haney, and his team for an anti-doping test you voluntarily took. You chose to take that test. What that got to do with Devin Haney and his team? I am a fan of Ryan Garcia. I think that Ryan Garcia has the look, he has the vernacular, he has the presentation, where if this dude won in the boxing ring, he could promote the sport in ways most people couldn't in this country. We also saw you, Ryan Garcia, come to the weigh-in 3 pounds overweight. That doesn't sound like somebody who's disciplined enough to be as legitimate as possible and follow the rules and regulations. Now, does that mean you did steroids? No. I prefer to give you the benefit of the doubt, but the fact of the matter is, Ryan Garcia, you don't necessarily deserve it based on your behavior leading up to the fight and how you showed up at the weigh-in, completely disregarding.
It's bad news for boxing, in the sport. I hate when these things come up. I don't know if it's true or not, we have to wait, but if it's true, it's terrible, It's the sport should be like clean sport. I always tell, I don't know, I better die, than go into the ring and fight with PEDs, It's not fair. This is tough sport. It's not a game.
My initial take is I'm disappointed for the sport because it was such a boost for the sport. It was such a great fight, and both guys showed a lot of surprising elements. And upsets like that are great for the sport. I mean, as long as you're not a sports book, obviously, they got killed. But there was such a high coming out of that sport and a buzz coming out of that fight and a buzz around the sport. And and this certainly puts a damper on that. So look, PEDs are never a good thing. You don't have to say that. But aside from the obvious, I think it's I'm disappointed for the sport overall.
It's crazy. It's it's a bad look for Ryan Garcia. It's a bad look for the sport. I know he's coming out and trying to, say his side now, saying that he's a clean athlete and everything he's trying to say, and the elites and everyone else is doing this against him. But I know VADA. I know how thorough they are, part of the VADA testing pool, and I've been working with VADA for the last 4 years, and I know how they are. So to say that someone's gone and manipulated his tests, it's crazy. Now we look at the 3 pounds advantage. Now we look at the failed drug test for these, certain banned substances. It's a bad look for Ryan Garcia, bad look for boxing. And if he has gone and done it, and he has obviously cheated, like I said, I've had a lot of respect for Ryan. But if you're doing that in this brutal sport where you got warriors, prepared to do whatever it takes.
Unfortunately, we're hearing there's a potential positive test for Ryan Garcia in his win over Devin Haney. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's very unfortunate that he tested positive for a banned substance. He says, lies. My basic belief, strong belief and position is VADA doesn't lie. Those are scientists. There's nothing in it for them to be lying about a result. They have a result that shows the positive presence of the substance ostarine in his system, and any scientific inquiry would back it up. So he's going to face a rough period of time now, trying to justify and live with and eventually accept that he tested positive for a banned substance. Again, VADA doesn't lie.
I think he just rules that fight as a no contest, in my opinion. Ryan, how strong he looked in that fight was. Ryan looked really strong in that fight and really sharp. And the size difference was massive. So I think definitely, you know, stuff like that definitely helps the size difference. You see the difference between. See, I got caught with the same substance in my blood sample, and you can see the size of me is the smallest I've ever been. Whereas with Ryan, he was like a different type of animal. Ryan says he doesn't know how he got in his system. See the amount that was in my blood, that it was like literally a grain of salt in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, which is nothing, not going to benefit you in any way. But I don't know the amount that's in Ryan's.
I know for a fact that he could be in a position right now where he took something or they gave him something that he wasn't aware of. Because in this sport, fighters trust their team, they trust their trainers, they trust their conditioning coach, they trust their nutritionist. Eat, drink, take whatever they give them. He tested positive, but I could believe, you know, that he wasn't aware of what he was taking, because fighters do that. You know, I've said it many times. You know, every fighter, whatever we give them, they believe in us and they take it. If it's a shot, if it's a pill, if it's a food, whatever it is, they take it. They eat it because they believe in the team, they believe in the trainer, they believe in the conditioning coach. So can that be the case? Yes. I'm not blaming Ryan, but he did test positive. So, you know, now he's got to deal with the consequences, and he's the fighter, he's the responsible one. But you know what? I've said it 100 times. Even when I'm rapping my fighters don't pay attention to what I'm doing. They're listening to music. They're talking to somebody else. They're looking around. They just believe in me doing my job, doing the handles. And I could easily throw something in there that's illegal. Easily. I've proved fighters wrong before. You know, fighters. No, there's no way. Margarito didn't know he had loaded hand wraps. And I've done it just to prove them wrong. They train, they go through a whole training, and then after training, I'm like, look at this. This is what you had. That's crazy. What the fuck? You know what? Because it is possible. Yeah. So when it comes to taking something, a vitamin shot,
trust is a big thing. You trust your partner.
Former pro boxer Fernando Vargas was also sympathetic towards Garcia and shared his opinions on both of Kingrye's tests, returning positive. He believes Garcia doesn't deserve the hate since he too went through a similar situation during his career. He also believed that Garcia dominated Devin in their first fight and would do so again in the rematch. He also gave Garcia credit for a convincing victory over Devin regardless of the PEDs.
I know exactly what that is, you know what I mean? Because I've been through it. You know, look, we get people, you know, we hire people to physically train us, to give us, you know, supplements that are gonna make us, that are gonna, you know, help us when we're cutting weight, when we're dropping weight, we're working, we're weak, we're not 110%. So things that help us, you know, you're thinking that there's not going to be a problem because everything's over the counter. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you know, it's happened to me. I don't blame nobody but myself. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know exactly the full story on Ryan's, you know, situation, but all I know is that I know it was some type of substance that he got caught for. Same thing for me. So, look, at the end of the day, I still think that you know, Ryan will beat Haney again in the rematch. I do think so. You know, it was just a one-sided fight. You know what I mean? And so I still think that you know, Ryan will be victorious, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Can you give Ryan any credit for actually beating Devin the first time now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fernando Vargas concluded the interview by stating that Ryan Garcia didn't consume PEDs intentionally, and that his team should have been more careful and handled the business better.
He just had his team members handle their business, and at the end of the day, that's what ended up happening.
WBC President Mauricio Suleiman also shared his thoughts and insights on Ryan Garcia's failed PED test, calling it an unfortunate incident. Although the New York State Athletic Commission deals with samples from boxers, he also offered some valuable insights on how the federation is working on its own protocols to keep the sport clean.
What can you offer us on thoughts from the WBC about that, and what do you think should happen going forward if he's ultimately found guilty?
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation, unfortunate happening. We worked diligently before the fight to do as much as possible to look into what was happening with his postings in social media and all that we saw. There was anti-doping tests, and that's where the positive came from. And it's very unfortunate. We're working on our own protocol, the clean boxing program, but New York has the decision regarding the fight itself on the official result. For the WBC, Devin Haney is a WBC champion, and we support him. It was very unfortunate the way he lost, and now with this controversy, first it was the weight, that he didn't make the weight, and now with this doping, it's a very concerned matter, and I'm very worried about Ryan Garcia. And I reached out to him 6 weeks before his fight and reached out to him after the fight, and I just pray to God that he finds the line for a new life.
Suleiman also agreed that the Devin versus Ryan Garcia fight result should be reversed to a no contest.
Do you think if he's actually found guilty that decision should be reversed to a no contest?
Oh, absolutely. The no contest is a concept used. There have been changing of results, so we will see what the New York Commission decides.
Boxing icon Shane Mosley also expressed his doubts over Garcia's failed drug test.
I think it's kind of weird, but maybe, maybe some things that can happen, some things to show up at his test. I know there was a time where there was a person that failed the test on the A side, but they passed the test on the B side, and nothing was said about it. So I'm just going to leave that there. You guys can do research on that one, where on the first test, it was on the A side, they failed. On the B side, but on the B side, they passed it. So I don't know.
When asked about what the punishment should be for fighters who fail drug tests, Mosley replied by saying,
I think they should get suspension. They should have a suspension, or they should, be penalized for it.
Should the losing fighters zero be restored? Like
a no contest or a DQ win? What do you think?
I mean, you go back in history of all these different fighters that has been cheating or whatever. I would say maybe it's a no contest.
Yeah.
Bill Haney also recently talked about Garcia's failed tests, and he was surprisingly calm during the interview. Haney avoided taking jabs at Kingrye, or even mentioning Garcia for that matter. Bill Haney instead acknowledged that he and Devin would get past the hard times.
This pushes boxing back to the horse and buggy days, where with enough technology and everything that's going on, we're able to detect someone that's on PEDs, and we're able to do something about it. I feel that right now it's a little bit of complacency. I don't want to point the fingers, but I just have a strong faith and a strong belief that everything will work out, and we'll get back to wanting this sport to be a clean sport, a sport about legacy over currency, which is now, with certain things and certain not only fighters but Hall of Fame promoters to now start taking certain stance and sending conflicting messages to not only just the fighters but also the fans.
It's got to be mentally draining for both you and your son, going through such a roller coaster leading up to the fight playing out the way it did, and then finding out Ryan failed his drug test. How are you and Devin handling this, not only as guys in the game, but as men?
you know,
How are you as humans?
We have a strong sense of faith. We believe that that God makes no mistakes. You know, and this too shall pass. But you know, when tragedy or when drama happens, you know, it's now your character is tested. So it'll show, the world will get a chance to see that we're unwavered behind this cheating.
Bill Haney also talked about how Garcia never took the fight seriously and highlighted the instances when Garcia lacked respect for the sport.
Ryan never showed that he wanted to be respectful to the sport. You know what I mean? There were a lot of telltale signs. We ignored them for the betterment of the sport. We wanted to continue to push it forward. You know, it was a climb within itself, all the uncertainty and all the bullshit he was doing, but also for him to come back hot, even as you said it. You know what I mean? That's uncalled for.
And weighing in over 3 pounds overweight as well.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Well, to compound that, and then also to, you know, among other things, he just did so many things that misled the people, that exemplified a person that's not serious about the sport. So, you know, I'm happy to get away from all that bullshit, get up around, you know, some boxing, you know, see some of the people that in this room that I respect and I admire. And, you know what I mean, I'm having a good time.
The boxing world has mixed opinions on Ryan Garcia's failed test. While the majority condemn Kingrye, a few believe he's innocent. But we'd love to hear from you. What do you think of Ryan Garcia's failed PED tests? Also, with the latest arrest and charges of vandalism against Kingrye, do you see him continue in boxing for long? Or is he slowly destroying his career and reputation? Let us know in the comments. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.